Oh.
here. We're late this morning.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna hear it.
Tommy is in ads chat. Okay, so I went to a freaking dead end in a parking lot. I don't know.
Oh.
I don't even know when this Goodwill opens. I figured they'll be open soon.
I'm sure they'll be open. It's 9, right?
Should be. Good morning, everyone.
Right?
It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. I don't know what day it is. Wednesday?
Hump day.
Hump day. There you go.
I can't
There
see the
you go. Let's see. Trying to get my stuff together here. Pop out the chat. Oh, yeah. Wednesday, what, the 16th?
Oh, I don't know that far. I knew it was Wednesday.
Well, luckily I have a calendar. And it's on the right month, I think.
Now you're pushing it.
Well, I'm glad Sally's with us.
Me
She can
too.
hang out with us for a little bit.
Sally, you going live in Goodwill? Or are we going to watch you walk around and?
Yeah, I brought my earbuds.
All right.
I gotta find it first.
That sounds good.
I hate Goodwill.
Ew, ours sucks here.
Oh, excuse me. Good morning, Carol. Good morning, Hank.
Good morning.
Hope y'all are doing okay. Good morning, good morning. Sally's off riding into the sunset. She's going thrifting today.
This town kind of scares me because, like, I'm in the parking lot at like 6 o'clock this morning, and I see almost 3 accidents.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh.
Just people trying to pull out, while other people are trying to pull in, and
Oh my gosh.
Well, you be careful.
hey,
Yeah.
that was super easy.
Carol's getting ready for her appointment. Well, thank you, Bridget, for coming in.
You're welcome, but I'm doing shipping, so if I bother you, let me
You're
know.
fine. I don't care if you do shipping. I don't mind that at all.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Means
How's
you sold a
everybody-
bunch of stuff.
You sold a bunch of stuff?
Did you?
You.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I sold some things.
Yeah, they're open already.
Sell it all?
Oh my God, wouldn't that be nice? Have you ever like looked at your total that they give you? Like you have this many items and it's worth this amount of money.
Yes.
And you're like, if somebody would give me just half of that, I
Yes.
would sell it all to them.
Yes.
Go for that and start over.
Yep.
Or just retire.
Yep.
I'm like, somebody-
Yeah.
Oh, it's not enough to retire on, but
I don't know. I think I'd try to make it work.
I'm addicted to auctions. I can't stop going.
I know. Hey there, Liz. Yeah, Sally's live on the road. She's going thrifting today, so she's gonna be out in a boot.
Oot and a boot.
Out in a boot.
I wonder why this is called.
Thrifting, though the streams are drifting, keep them doggies
What?
drifting rawhide.
Apple. Hardcore.
Apple hardcore.
Hardcore apple. Are you sure it's not Alcohol?
Oh, it's Rockstar.
You better look on that. On the,
It's apple.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? They do look like that sometimes.
yeah. Look
Is
on the ingredients. See
No,
if it says alcohol in it.
It doesn't say alcohol or anything.
Okay,
I
that's
think
good.
it's because it has 240 milligrams caffeine.
Well, yeah, that'd probably do it.
Yep.
That's almost worse than alcohol.
Better than the coffee.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Brandon be like, what the hell? She's passed out in the driver's seat. Brandon comes out. What the hell are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Well, hopefully my battery will pass.
Oh my God. Could you imagine, Carol? Sally drunk thrifting.
I'll take 10 of these. 15 of these.
Okay, let me get my
Oh. Yeah, it's been kind of an interesting week so far.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
sales have been, I don't know. It's like they're okay for a little bit and then they're not. And then it's almost like it's a tease.
Like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
I have to get my butt listing a lot today to cover that bill yesterday.
Cover a what?
Bill.
You have a bill. Oh, from eBay?
No, I had to get my van fixed yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I needed I needed to get new brakes, rotors, 2 new tires, an oil change, and my blower fan was only working on 4, so he had to put a new blower motor. So yeah, I had a ton of shit to get done.
That's a lot.
Especially since the tires alone are like $120 a piece.
Right. But, you know, like I said, you know, you're gonna be in a good place because now
Yeah.
you're not gonna have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's done.
right now.
Somebody said
My thing just totally froze. Like going like this.
What?
Huh?
What, Sally?
My stuff just froze with you going like this.
Okay.
I plugged in these headphones and they're not working. Can you hear me?
You're kind of.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You know me, I don't like earbuds.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, talk.
Check.
Check,
Testies,
check, check.
testies,
Check correct, check
testies,
correct.
testies.
you're not supposed to
So
talk.
you would think since
Really quiet.
you would think that since they are closer to my ears that they would actually be better for me, but they're not.
Yeah.
I would hope that earphones are closer to your ears than a speaker.
Hi, Teresa. Hope you're having a good day. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been.
Okay, is there a way to turn my camera around?
Well, that's dumb. I don't know.
So I took my gold chain to get tested by the jeweler yesterday. He said, "Yep, it's for real." So I listed it yesterday for $629 or best offer.
Awesome.
Isn't that awesome to find a good piece once in a while?
That is amazing. Amazing. Good job. Good eye.
Yeah, very good job.
It's got like 35 views and 3 watchers, and yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm proud of you.
Well, this ain't gonna be no fun if I can't turn my camera around.
Oh, your nose hair looks so pretty.
Now you're gonna give her a complex.
I know. Sally deserves a complex though. It's her
Figured
turn.
it out.
It's her turn. Don't hit that pole. Oh, you're sitting still.
All right, Tom. We don't need that.
Oh, Bridget, how's the vacation plans to Disneyland going?
Good. Number 4.
Y'all got all your flights booked and your car
Oh,
rentals and your hotels?
Oh, yeah,
and-
the flights were booked like months ago. And hotel, yes, we have a hotel book, but we're still looking for ones that are closer. It's just
Wind noise. Ah, wind noise.
but yeah, I have all our tickets and everything.
Good.
Okay. Yeah, you're a planner.
And it's getting colder. And
Oh
so
yeah.
I said, when we get back from California, we're gonna be freezing.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
Count on
Yeah.
that.
It's gonna take you some time to get used to that
Well,
because
you guys that live on the North Pole, you just deserve that. Don't complain about it if you're gonna live up there.
I found a house in South Carolina I want to go look at though.
did you?
Yeah. So we've got like 2 acres of land, so that's enough land to build like a pole barn or something.
Yeah.
know.
South Carolina.
Yeah, Lexington.
This is after your boy retires.
If I can get a house cheap enough
Mhm.
and a good deal, I would probably buy it now and just go down every, once in a while, fix it up and everything. That way we have it.
So you wouldn't actually move down there right away.
No, we can't move until he retires. Well, I
Yeah.
can move whenever I want, but he can't move.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't want to leave him all alone and desperate.
No.
Oh,
No.
we'll see. He's a bachelor long enough. He wouldn't be. Well, he might be desperate now, but
You got him spoiled now. You got him spoiled now, so he's used to
Yeah.
mama being there.
It's a metal.
like a poker.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think so. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna have to hold.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay, is it this? Let's see.
Sally, find all the good stuff.
That thing.
She's,
Okay.
she's looking.
I'm like
Search.
metal pole. I don't know. He packaged stuff and he puts weird names on it. Like there was a fireplace poker, he put metal pole on the box, and I'm like,
Joanna asked, does anyone know how long a package can go not scanned without ending up in the list mail center? I don't know what a list mail center is.
Johanna, I would call your postmaster because they can GPS track that package and tell you pretty much where it is.
Yeah.
So I would
Yeah,
call.
but if it was never scanned, lost mail center.
I would still call and just give them the tracking number and say, this would, do you have a good relationship with your postmaster? I would just I can just call or text and say, hey, check this out for me.
Yeah.
It never scanned in, so
Oh.
how come, Joanna, did you have your packages picked up? I've been noticing a lot of people complaining about their package is not getting picked up.
Really?
Yeah, I saw one on RVA flips yesterday. And
Huh.
I mean, RVA, is Facebook.
Yeah.
Mine picked up, but that's because it was a sub and he was lazy. But I reported him.
Yeah, I know Lonnie, he never trusts pickup anymore.
Well, I got my normal guy now, Adam. He's good now. He does what he needs to do. So
Yeah.
I got him.
I've never tried it because my post office is closed, and I've heard all these stories from different sellers that sometimes they don't pick it up.
Yeah. I would definitely talk to someone at the post office and have
I wonder if they
them.
got stuck together.
I mean, if you have a tracking number, they should be able to track it
She
and
said
just tell them that you're concerned about it because it's not been scanned.
she put 2 flat rate envelopes in the big blue mailbox and she only scanned 1. I'm wondering if they got stuck together.
That's a good possibility. She only scanned 1. Yeah, that's a really good possibility or it just got missed. I mean,
Right.
They're human too, and I mean, there's really no excuse for it, but it does happen. The other buyer said hers arrived and the other one wasn't delivered to her. Huh.
I don't know.
I mean, did you check the tracking history on it? Oh, apparently you have because you can tell that it's not been scanned. So, yeah, you just need to. I would just go to them and say, hey, I need to find out where this package is at.
I had something happen like that a long time ago. It was a ashtray, one of those vintage tall ashtrays. We printed the label. It never, and this was before I did pickup. Never got scanned in as accepted. So I'm like, I don't know if I took it to. Chris thought, well, maybe he took it to FedEx by accident. So he went there and they said, no, if it goes to them by accident, they give it to the post guy, I still have I had to refund them like $55 because I have no clue what happened to this thing.
Wow. Huh. Well, hopefully they'll be able to help you.
Yeah.
That grandma used to have that picture, or somebody did.
Huh?
Didn't you used to have that picture, Grandpa Daniel?
It looks familiar. I want to say that was like at Grandma's house or something. I don't know. I've seen that picture before, though.
Oh no, Joanna.
I had to.
Another. I know that a lot of people dropped their packages into the mailbox, the big blue box. But I would recommend going into the post office and having them scanned right there.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, my friend Terry, who's a postmaster, she gets so mad because it like not envelopes, but they'll drop in small boxes and it clogs up the whole box.
Yep. That way you can see for yourself, that it gets scanned.
Yeah.
I know that Jim and Tara worked out a deal up north where they used to live, where they could just pull up to the back of the post office and drop off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. See, I have my local post office that's in town, and she just has a little scanner thing that she scans it right then and there when I come in,
Yeah.
but she doesn't give me a receipt. Like it doesn't process a receipt.
Oh, she uses a handheld scanner?
She just uses
Yeah.
a hand scanner.
Mhm.
But with that, I know that that's, they're in.
Right.
When I go to the post office 5 miles up the road, they actually have a computer system where they have to input it in the system. They don't have a scanner. They have to put it, weigh it and put it in the system and everything. So, I kind of like the scanning thing.
Yeah. Mine, I take it to Terry. She puts it on the counter, like scans it in like if I was paying for postage, on her scale because she gets more credits that way.
Oh.
Whatever. But which is weird, I don't understand why, but whatever.
Yeah.
Do what you need to do.
Well, if you have, so even if it wasn't scanned in, if you have a tracking number on it, that's your insurance basically. So you could make a claim on that.
You think?
Oh yeah.
Because it would be like, wouldn't they say, well, how do we know you even took it to the post office?
Well,
like if I scanned a $300 package here or printed the label and never took it in, you know what I mean? Like they say, well, there wasn't even I don't know.
I don't
know. Good point, Bridget.
It has to have an initial scan. I don't know. I would have to, I mean, you can't prove that, but why wouldn't you take it to the post office? It's not.
That's what we think, but.
I mean, yeah.
But then you have scammers.
That's kind of a sticky situation, I think.
Right.
Oh, Hank's dealt with this a couple of times already. Can't file a claim because you can't prove that the package was ever in USPS possession. Mm-hmm. Doesn't matter. Is what I told. No scan, no nothing. Dang it.
Yeah. Now because I do all my shipping labels on Pirate Ship, so I get my end of the day scan sheet.
Right.
And then he just scans that one tracking number and it scans everything in, saying that he's accepted every package.
Right.
So hopefully I won't have that issue anymore.
Yeah. That's what she figured, Hank. I mean, yeah, and you would think that if it was in the lost mail center, that it would come back to you. Right. Or somebody would realize that it wasn't scanned in or something.
There's some up there though.
So I have a question on the scan sheets.
Yes.
So do you have to do all of your shipping all at the same time in order to get a scan sheet?
No, I could do some now. I could do some 3 hours from now, as long as it's today.
Okay.
And then whenever you hit end of day and print scan sheet, then that's it for the day. Like I can't add more to another scan sheet. So, like I printed some on Monday and then some yesterday, and just gave her both scan sheets.
Okay.
But if you pack some stuff later, you could just print 2 scan sheets. Right?
No, once you do end of day, that's it. Like it won't add any more onto it.
Oh, you're not allowed to add
Because
a
it's,
second scan sheet?
no, because you're saying that you're done for the day,
Yeah.
end of day. So, but I mean, take a picture, I guess, of the label or just tell them. Like I had a couple that Chris did, so they weren't on the scan sheet. So I just told them these 2 are on the scan sheet and then he scanned them.
Okay. I'm probably gonna have to start doing that with my. Once I have the guys. I haven't had the guy pick up for me in months, just because it feels good for me to be able to get out and
Yeah.
and even if it's just up the road and drop the packages off, it gives me a reason to get out of the house.
Get out of the house, yeah.
For
That's
a minute, so
right now.
I don't know.
I know his days off now, so when it's his day off, I still print the scan sheet, but I take a picture of it and I text it to Terry and she scans it in at Clarkson because their subs never scan anything in. So
Oh, I see. Huh.
so which she doesn't mind because again, she gets credit for it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But probably once the weather gets bad and stuff, I probably will start having them pick up. Yeah, Sassy, she said she's been putting them in the mailbox. So far, so good. As long as you can, as long as they're scanning them, but I don't know. Joanna's got a sticky situation there.
Yeah. It sucks. I hope it wasn't anything real expensive.
She said like $26.
Oh.
So, I mean,
that's expensive enough.
That's a lot. That's a lot to have to refund. Let's see. So Karen's at the beach says pre-owned bras are a no-go on eBay. There's no choice for used bras anymore. Only new or new with defects. Huh. I don't know.
I don't know. I've never sold a used bra.
I've sold plenty of them.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these the item specifics.
Oh my God.
That is a mess.
They are driving me insane.
That is a big mess.
I went to do a bulk edit on some of the listings and I couldn't even bulk edit like 40 of them because I was missing some certain stupid item specific. Like it was a jacket and they wanted to know what the temperature something was, what the water resistant something was. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? I don't know. Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, they've made some. Why can't they just leave well enough alone?
So you had to do your editing one at a time on all those?
Well, no, you can ask Chris. I got very frustrated. And then, he thinks he's making things better by poking at me. And I'm like, just stop it. I'm irritated. He thinks it's funny, and then he goes, why are you so bitchy? Well, geez, I wonder. Leave me alone.
It's frustrating.
Bridget.
It's definitely frustrating.
That sounds so much like Gwen when I poke at her.
Well, especially if you're frustrated to begin with because you're trying to do something and you guys know it.
Right.
And then you decide that, it'll be fun to poke at her.
Yeah. Let's just poke the bear.
And then we're all surprised when you get all huffy about it.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, he doesn't hesitate to say that to me though. Man, you're awful bitchy today. Why don't you go back to bed?
Oh man. Now he's gone.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to do that on video and
It is.
pay attention to thrifting and
I can't do it. I have like a one track mind and I am completely yeah, I can't concentrate,
no.
on
Texas
looking
Valerie does a pretty good job of it.
yeah. I just
Mm.
I can't do it.
I
I
can't.
think Texas Val's mind kind of works that way though. She can do like 50 things at once.
She's definitely a multitasker for sure. I mean, running another business and everything.
So I have another shipping question.
Yes.
If you have like a vacation planned for tomorrow and you're going to leave before the post office opens in your town and you drive 300 miles away, but you take all your packages with you so you can drop them off,
Right.
would that mess up your rates that you pay because you dropped them off at a post office 300 miles away from where you bought your postage?
I've done it before and no, they just scan it in with whatever zip code you have on your package.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah,
I figured that wouldn't work because the post office is
No.
so far
No.
away. It would have been, had you bought the postage in the place
Right.
you're going, it would have been a different amount of money you had to pay for postage.
Right.
But it doesn't matter, huh?
No.
Where's the video?
Post office will just take it.
It'll just
Just
process.
Like if you do if like a company requires you to do a self-addressed pre-labeled whatever to them when you ship something,
Mhm.
like documents. And then, so what you do is you put your return address as your address, and you put your shipping address as your address, and then you have them postage it.
Yeah.
What is it? Posted, whatever. And then you send it to them. When they send it back out to you, it's coming from wherever they are.
Right.
That'd actually be a good thing for somebody that lives close to a postal rate switchover area. You know what I'm saying? If you got like $200 worth of shipping, then print out all your shipping where you are and drive to the cheaper, or drive, I don't know what I'm saying.
Well, I mean,
No, that wouldn't work either.
I don't
Never
know if
mind.
change your-
Shut up, Todd.
No, remember how you used to be able to change your zip code on the shipping labels before for eBay? I don't
Right.
think you can anymore. You probably could have changed it. Like if you're shipping to California, you probably could have changed it to a California zip code that you're shipping from and maybe paid cheaper. I don't know.
Wow.
I never thought about that till you just
That's-
mentioned.
And then
true.
drop it in the post office in Texas. Yeah, that might not work for very long. Somebody would catch on to that.
Hey now. Trying to get one on us here.
Well, you almost feel like doing that sometimes because every January they go up on rates, and I'm like, God.
Yep.
I've only been reselling for what, 4.5 years, and rates are so much more than they were. And I know the customer pays for it, and I do make them pay for it, but I'm like,
Yeah, but still.
pretty soon the stuff that I was selling, I'm not going to be able to sell anymore because it was less expensive items, and the postage is just, or the shipping is just killer now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we're shipping all our bigger packages. We're shipping a lot less with USPS.
Yeah.
Most of them are going FedEx because USPS kind of shot themselves in the foot when they did this dimensional rate thing.
Yeah.
Right. Makes a huge difference.
But like, yeah, big light stuff like a blow mold or Santa or something, God.
Yeah,
Shipping
like
is
it's shifting
crazy.
a ghost blow mold. And
Mhm.
it would have normally would have went priority, but because of the dimensional weight, it went FedEx.
Oh,
So Johanna says eBay doesn't like it when I drop my packages off in the capital city. When I used to work in the city, I would drop my packages at the mailbox at work. eBay didn't like that.
Why?
Huh.
Because,
It shouldn't even. I don't understand.
what didn't eBay like about that? Well,
Did
they
they
send you a
send?
dirty letter?
Yeah. Did they send you like an email and say don't do that anymore? Or
Johanna, you insolent bitch. What- what's-
Todd.
no, what was that Dan Aykroyd used to call that news? He used to do the news on Saturday night. Like, Jane, you insolent bitch. Remember that?
I've been dropping my packages off at other post offices for years.
I was gonna say we do it when we go to like auctions and stuff. If we're
Yeah, I drop them off in Duluth, Superior, Cloquet, all kinds of miles and miles away from each other. I mean,
we go to auctions that are, 2-3 hours away, and we drop stuff off at their post office.
wow.
now
Huh.
some people have said that the workers don't care for that because they don't get credit for it.
Right.
They still get credit if there's zip codes on there. Oh,
What?
post office that you drop it off, yeah, they won't get credit for it.
Got
That's what I mean. When you drop it off, they don't get credit for it. But who get? But you know what?
Oh well.
Their freaking job to take the damn mail. Tell them to shut up.
Yep.
Job.
Joanna got a shipping strike on her account from eBay, not the post office.
Huh. She said the city is 35 miles from my home. So she would take them to the city and drop them off, and she got a shipping strike on them.
Oh, I've never had an issue.
Mm-mm.
That's crazy.
As long as they're scanned into the post office
On the same right
on
time.
the same day that they're supposed to be shipped, you should not get a ding.
Nope.
I would have called eBay on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Jim and Tara had a post office tell them not to do that.
Well, yeah, they'll tell you not to do it because they don't get
Well,
their
that's because they don't get credit for it. They don't want you to do it.
yeah.
What, the post office that they didn't drop it off at, or the post office that they did drop it off at?
The post
But
office.
after we had this discussion the one night, after somebody said that that you get in trouble for dropping it off, I was talking to the post office here, the postmaster here that I go to, and they said drop them off. There's no big deal. Just drop them off. No, we don't get credit for them. But what is taking your packages and scanning them in just like anybody else's?
It's
Right.
mostly the
And-
smaller post offices that'll have a fit about it.
Yeah.
Because
And you know what? Just tell them to take the damn mail and shut your mouth. It's their job. I don't care what they say. It's their job to do. And that's what the Superior Post Office told me. Because I always drop my stuff off there, but I ship from Poplar.
If I
And I always
go,
tell- and
if I-
they always take my packages. I never get any grief. So what I'm saying is if your stupid clerk don't want to take your packages, then you move up to the postmaster. If the postmaster don't want to be, if the postmaster wants to be an ass, then you move higher than him or her. Plain and simple. It is their job to take our packages. We're paying them. They're not paying us. They need to do their damn job. Period.
you tell them, damn it. You tell them, Nikki.
you all riled up. It's like the smart post all over again.
No,
Oh
I
my
take
If
stuff
God.
it
to a
wasn't
little
for
post
online
office.
sellers, the post office would probably be out of business.
I take stuff to a post office that is, my packages are addressed Charlotte, but I take it to one in Pineville. It's a little post office.
Mhm.
And when I go in there, they have never said a thing. They just scan it and say, thank you for bringing them in and
Nope.
have a good day.
Yeah.
Because the postmaster in there told me one time, because I took in a bunch of stuff one time, and I'm like, should I take this to the Charlotte one over near my house? And he said, no, bring them in here. He says, because it's run through our facility,
Right.
and that means that the people up the food chain see where we had 500 packages come through our
Right.
store, our office today.
It gives them the acuity.
Because I'm gonna tell you what, it's pretty damn bad if these postmasters are having to, they don't get credit for processing postage that people have paid for, and they bring them to their facility, and their people in their facility is, sorting and doing whatever they have to do for it. If they don't get credit for it, then that sucks.
Huh.
But he said, bring them on, he said, bring it in.
Yeah. Maggie says,
You don't want to take your packages? Don't want to take your packages? Tell them fine. I'll go to FedEx and they can have my business then.
Yeah, because I was just reading an article where because of Amazon has added like 70 jets to their fleet.
Right.
They're moving stuff between their own branches by their own planes instead of using UPS and FedEx.
Right.
Even though the guy from FedEx said, that's only like 2% of our business.
Mhm.
Well, that's still a crap load of damn money,
Yeah.
2% of their business.
Maggie said, has anyone else noticed that there's no shipping discount through eBay shipping the last week or so? I have not seen that. I've been getting my discounts
I haven't been using that. So.
on there.
I just
haven't
been
had a
printing. I haven't looked.
Yeah.
Well, like your priority flat rate, padded flat rate is supposed to be, it charges them $8, but for me it's $7.33, and that's been
They charge $8 for that now?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maggie's had no discount.
Um,
That's not right.
It's $7.50, or my padded rate is $7.33.
Yeah, mine too.
Mine's
And
$7.33, yeah.
mine this morning charged $7.33. So I think
Mine's usually 7 something.
I
7.30.
think I got my discount today. I don't know.
That's something. Yeah, see, I just saw on eBay shipping labels and was pretending I was shipping through them. And it says on eBay, you save 19% under the
Right.
priority. So yeah, I'm getting it still.
Yeah, you may need to notify somebody about that, Maggie, because
Are you top rated still, Maggie? Does it matter? I don't know.
Yeah, it does matter.
It does matter, yeah.
Yeah, well, on Amazon, buyers give so few feedbacks that one can kill you.
What?
Like, if you sell 100 items on eBay, you might get 25 feedback.
Oh, you
But
said
if you sell 100 items on Amazon, you might get 2.
Right.
So with fewer people giving feedbacks, even just 1 or 2 bad feedbacks is going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely call eBay about that, Maggie.
Yeah.
oh, for sure.
I mean, you should be, if you're top rated, there's no reason why you shouldn't be getting a discount. So I'm happy for you that you got your feedback removed. She said it took me down from 100% to 94%, and now she's back to 100%.
Oh, good.
That's good.
I had to get one removed on Amazon because it had nothing to do with the product. It was Amazon shipping that they were upset about.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing fair to partly cloudy.
Well, that's good.
Bridget, they're talking about rolling out a test for this article that I was reading. They were talking about they're talking about rolling out a test for seller pickup through their prime trucks.
I wouldn't do it. Some of those drivers are sketchy. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
That's crazy.
But it'd be nice to be able to just have them stop by and pick them up and drop them off at the like the Charlotte hub, which is, if it's going to be.
that would be awesome if it made it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
My thing is, I don't know how they screen their drivers, what type of screening they do. And there's you look up on the news, Amazon driver steals packages. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of them where they'll steal things that are on, like we had one just locally where they dropped the package off, but she has the Ring doorbell and it showed them going through her porch and stealing stuff off her porch that she had on her porch.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh,
yeah.
way to go, Amazon.
Yeah, I'd be, like I said, I don't know how they screen their
Was it actually an Amazon driver or was it a third party?
well, they were delivering their packages.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying,
It's probably like that DoorDash and stuff. I mean,
It's
you don't
probably-
really get screened that much.
right?
But at least with DoorDash, the customers are going to be home when you bring their stuff. You know what I mean? Like they're going to be pretty much there when you bring their stuff to them.
Yeah.
Where Amazon packages, I mean, people are out at work or whatever. I don't know. Even third party, they should screen them.
Of course, I do know that the apps that I use, they do background checks. So I would assume Amazon would too.
Yeah, I would think so.
Unless the background check is only for driving, I don't know.
Right.
Well, I've mentioned it before, I think, but we have these things in Charlotte. They're like Amazon vaults or something like that, where you're like emailed a code and you go to this location and it's big, like big PO boxes. You punch in the code, you take your stuff out.
Yeah, we had them here too.
Okay. And those seem to be real popular here because we had such a rash of people stealing stuff off their porches. But we also had a carrier here that was saying stuff was delivered and it wasn't delivered. And then I would run check next door and I'd even go around to this other lady's house her number is 116 and mine's 118.
Mhm.
So we get a lot of stuff back and forth. I went around there and checked it. I didn't get it. He called Amazon and Amazon said, okay, no problem. We'll send you out another one. 2 days later, it showed up on our front porch.
Oh my God.
And it was a carrier, one of the delivery people that is noted because it's supposed to be delivered on a certain day.
Oh, so they just say, yeah.
So they say it was delivered and it's still not been delivered.
I had FedEx do that to a customer of mine. She ordered a Cabbage Patch doll and then she messaged me and said, they said it was delivered at 2 p.m. and here it is only 11 a.m.
Oh.
And she's like, I'm just so confused. She did not get it that Friday. She went to all her neighbors. She called FedEx Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Finally, they dropped it off on Monday.
Oh my gosh.
Huh.
That's the reason so many people are getting these ring things, where they push the button or they have motion sensors on them. So as soon as somebody steps on your front porch, it starts videoing or it's sending you a stream. That's bad when you got to do that.
My daughter got 2 packages on Columbus Day. I'm not sure why.
Who did?
Oh, were
My
they
daughter.
Amazon? Were they Amazon?
No, they came. No, one was a Poshmark. I know. She bought something off of Poshmark. I don't know about the other one. I just know the one was a Poshmark. She said that.
Did it come?
I think both of them actually were.
Did it come USPS?
Yeah, it came Yeah, priority, USPS.
They might, Priority, I don't think runs on the same holiday schedule.
I
I think
didn't get any packages.
because
What do you
Priority,
mean? The postmen don't work on those holidays.
they do if they got stuff for, well, I know for Amazon they do.
Well,
'Cause
Amazon.
I've had Amazon deliver on a holiday, or the UPS. All they're doing is delivering Amazon packages, and they're like, "Hey, Amazon's paying us to deliver them within 2 days. It don't matter whether it's Christmas." Well,
Maybe this guy just had packages and just delivered them.
I don't.
they have to deliver them.
Well, Amazon pulled away from the USPS, so I don't think they do that anymore. But
They're still doing some, but not. I think they're just doing stuff that they can stick in the mail and it'll get to people within a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
But it's coming up on Christmas, so.
Yep.
And just so if anybody wants to buy me a little something for Christmas, I wear a size 7-day Carnival cruise. Carriage at the Beach says we have Amazon Prime trucks all over our neighborhood now. Yeah, last year when one of the Amazon drivers was driving a rental truck, and he said that by this Christmas, which is the one we're coming up on now, he said Amazon would have its own fleet of trucks, and you would see them everywhere. And by gosh, he was right.
Yeah.
Because I see those Amazon Prime trucks, and I also see the big semis.
I don't see them here, but we're probably not big enough.
I don't.
The semis.
We get just like the box trucks that are plain white.
Yeah, those are just rentals. I mean, or leases or something like that.
Yeah.
But there's a guy that lives around the corner. I don't know him personally, but my next door neighbor was telling me that guy runs for Amazon. He drives one of their big semis, and all he does is go from Charlotte to Columbia, back and forth, which is an 1.5-hour drive.
Right.
So he probably gets 2 trips in a day. By the time he gets in, gets checked in. Either they load his truck or he.
They probably load his truck for him.
Or pick up he backs up to another trailer and hauls it off.
Yeah.
Which is what that's what Walmart does.
Yep, that's true.
I'm surprised Nikki doesn't drive for Amazon yet.
I know.
He does every damn thing else.
I don't have time for Amazon.
Hello, everybody. No, goodbye.
That would be.
I don't think they have.
I
don't think they have Amazon trucks here.
Well, they have drivers, right?
Not here. I don't think. I've never seen an
Not
Amazon truck.
trucks, but like I have people with their own personal vehicles dropping off Amazon packages.
Right.
Huh. I know they have. I'm sure they have it in the cities, like my husband said, but I don't think they have it here. I don't know.
Well, there you go. There's a new adventure for you to look into.
There you go.
Yeah.
I
Something
can
else.
relive my glory days of when I worked for FedEx. Actually, I delivered pallets then, not little packages.
Yeah, Karen says problem with driving for Amazon is you can't go home until your delivery is dead.
Yeah.
I can imagine. That would be really difficult, to do like during the winter months.
That's the way it's supposed to be with the post office too. They're supposed to not go home until their packages are delivered, but that's not always the case. And that's what I told Brandy. I said, you probably got your packages delivered by a mailman who took off early and was trying to make up for it.
Yeah. Fishing and Picking says have Nikki Google Amazon Flex.
Yeah, I don't think it's in my area yet.
18 to 25 an hour for Amazon Flex.
Oh.
I found out this morning that we were like best friends in high school. He lives in Wisconsin. Didn't even know it. I thought he lived in Indiana. So when I sent him a message saying, "Man, have you had snow yet?" He said, "Shut the hell up." I'm like, "Why?" And he's a South Carolina boy. I said, "Why did you move to Wisconsin?" He said, "Because my former boss moved to the company that he's with. He's with some hotel chain up there." And he called me and said, "Hey, you want a job? How much you want? We'll pay you to move."
Mm.
And he said the opportunity was too good to turn up. And he lived in Atlanta beforehand, and he just said had enough of the Atlanta traffic and crap going on down there. So
Yeah.
he's in the land of the perpetual threat of snow.
Ugh.
What happened to my nephew? He worked for Wegmans. He was a manager for Wegmans down here. And when they started building in North Carolina, they said, you know, you have a job, we'll move you. They moved, they pay 6 months for his rent and everything.
Wow.
Yeah, he moved down there. So now he's manager at one of those stores, the new ones that they're building.
Wow. What you got there, Tom?
I'm not starting drinking. It's an empty Remy Martin champagne bottle, champagne
go.
cognac bottle.
All right.
I gotta ship it out before tomorrow.
So it has to
Somebody bought it.
for tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll get it done this afternoon. I've been on the road all this week, and I've just about had enough of everything.
What is
I'm ready to move to a little shack out in the middle of 40 acres and just get to me.
gonna get their license?
Well,
Summer.
we've been running around with Roberta. They've got her on the heart monitor.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So I've been taking her and picking her up at work because she has these dizzy spells, and I don't want her getting her. I don't want her to get hurt, killed, or tear up a car.
Right.
Car. Jeez.
A what?
I could see you saying I don't want her to get hurt or killed, but then you had to add or tear up my car.
Well, that's what she's concerned about too. Is the car. It's paid for. That means it's worth its weight in gold. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
People don't see
Yeah.
these people when they total out a car and they like it's an old car and they only say, well, it's only worth $1,500. Well, that's a bunch of bullshit because the person that's driving it, they don't have car payments. If it's getting them where they want it to go without too much headaches,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it might as well be worth $10,000.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I know. I don't want to.
So that's my little rant. Oh, I still think you need to buy that big old place on the lake down here in South Carolina.
Somebody would have to. 2 people would have to go in with me. 3 people would have to go in with me.
Tell Chris to get off some of that damn money, and he's got ordered away.
Complaining right now about
What's that?
for a meeting at 1:30. Somebody said it's about overtime, and he goes, I am not working Saturdays. I don't want to work overtime. He goes, my body can barely handle 40 hours a week right now. So yeah, he's trying to save money, you know, when his kids let him.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh. So Julie's doing good. She's
Yeah, she's ready to pop soon, right?
she's getting close. She's getting close.
She's only what, a month away? Not even?
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a month. 4 more weeks.
Oh. That's awesome.
I know it doesn't seem like it to her, but it seems like it went fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was telling her the other day. It's kind of like in the beginning because she's kind of known since conception when she was pregnant. And so, you know, in the beginning, it really went slow. Like it just creeped on and creeped on. And then like at 4 or 5 months, it just, you know, flew by.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll be.
Because the summers always fly by around here. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been long enough.
Sassy says Dylan with sick kids, field trips, rainy, cold weather. Have me my blanket, hot coffee, and Netflix. I hear you.
It's pouring here too.
Good morning, Rita.
It's beautiful just a little while ago. The sun was shining, it was warm. So
Rained here all night.
I put my packages out on the deck and now it's pouring rain, so I had to run out and move them further onto the deck.
So back to you really need to buy that house.
I can't, Tom, it's $1.7 million
Oh my goodness.
house that I can't buy a house that expensive. I would never get approved to buy a house or have the money to buy a house.
When you got that, oh, just go out there and dig up some of that cash you got in the backyard and
I'll have to go to Todd's house and dig up some of that.
go dig up some gold and silver out of his backyard.
Man.
Go see Miss Gwen. She'll give you a good interest rate.
Oh, Miss Gwen wants to go on more vacations. She wouldn't.
Yeah, she's not going to give that money away.
No way.
That's her vacation money.
Let's see. But that was a pretty place. That's a nice lake too.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's where all the rich, really rich people live in South Carolina.
It's a really
Mary,
huge house, like
I'm sorry.
house.
Mary said I may have to shut my store down for a few days or put my handling time out 10 days. My daughter has mono. Man. Well, you do whatever you got to do. I mean, you gotta help her with the kiddos and help her out.
Always something.
It seems like it.
A friend of mine's, or a friend of Roberta's son, has mono, and he's 10 years old. So of course I'm getting this through Roberta. Apparently, his older brother and sister has been giving him hell about
Sure.
who you've been kissing on.
Summer says, well, technically, Bridget, you probably would get approved. I bought our home here in California. If you do eBay enough, they do consider your income.
Not for 1.7 million.
1.7 million.
A lot of money. That's
Yeah.
a lot of zeros. Man.
I would imagine they look at your income and yeah.
The 1 million.
I mean, the other house I was looking at, yeah, I'd get approved for that because that was only 85,000.
Yeah.
60.
Are you
I said-
calculating my rates there, Tom?
Just taking the 1.7, no down payment, no interest, just 1.7 divided by 360 payments. And that's 30 years, right? Yeah. $4,722. Then you got to add your interest, your taxes on top of that.
Probably about $6,000 a month.
Probably looking at about 6,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
You can do that. You do that in 1 week on eBay alone.
I do not. I wish I did. That would be nice. But no, I don't. Oh
If
man.
you go ahead and do that course, you'd be on Easy Street.
Yeah, true. I'd say, would you guarantee me making this much money if I do your course and will you
Wow.
take the rest?
Do personal counseling.
That's awful, Mary. That's horrible. She said mono is no joke. Had a bad case when I was a kid. And pretty much slept for 2 months. That's awful.
I remember my brother when my brother had mono. Oh my God, yeah, he was sleeping forever. That's all he wanted to do was sleep.
We had
Seemed like he
an
had
epidemic in our high school.
him too.
Chris
That's
wants
awful.
here right now, and I don't want to. So
He wants what?
he wants to buy a house here and right now, and I don't want to because I'm like, I said we have to actually sit down and talk about what our 5-year plan is because why buy a house here But then he's like, well, you want to rent, you want to find a building to rent. He goes, by the time we pay the rent on the building, our thing here, if you're into a mortgage, you might as well buy a bigger house so you can put all your stuff in the house. I'm like, no, I don't want. I still have to have storage units.
But it is though, in 5 years when he gets ready to retire and you're ready to bug out, how long is it going to take you? If the economy's not good, how long is it going to tell you? Or if the economy is good, how long is it going to take you to sell your house in Bug Tussle, New York? You know,
Yeah, I don't want to.
it's a college town, isn't it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be in this town. It would be further east. Yeah, it's further east, because that's where the auctions are, and he worked more east, so it wouldn't be in here. But no, I'm fine where I am right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's your 5 years is not a very 5 years is going to fly by real fast. I know, not for him it's not, but for you it is.
Mhm.
That's the reason I said in our text messages back and forth the other day, you just need to go ahead. Y'all need to go take a couple of trips down here and find you some land and start paying on it. And then by the time you get ready to move, you can decide what kind of house you want to build.
Yeah.
I won't be building. I don't think.
Whatever you want to do, build you a building that looks like a big old red barn. You know, you got all your office crap downstairs, and then there's an apartment above it.
Chris,
So whatever, dear.
bedroom for the cat, a bedroom just for the cat. I'm like, what are you talking about? 15 years old.
Oh, the ones
Oh
that
my gosh.
the ones that are loved live forever.
I wish it would. Oh my gosh.
My mom had a little Chihuahua Yorkie mixed dog, and he was like 18 years old when he died.
Jeez.
My mother, you would have thought she had lost a child. She was not hysterical, but she cried for days about him.
Hmm.
And I can understand that. 18 years is a long time.
Well, to be with, I mean, you know, they're literally part of your family.
He traveled with us because we camped most of the time we went on vacation. He went everywhere with us. I was 7 years old when we got him.
Yep.
So I grew up with the dog. He was my other brother, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. That's crazy.
That's
Mary,
another thing. That's another thing too. You know, Joanna just mentioned. She said, "Still crazy to me. The going rate around here is $80,000 to $100,000 for a house that." But we got ours on foreclosure. That's something else you could look at too, Bridget. Foreclosures.
Yeah.
$80,000 to $100,000 around here will buy you a hovel over in the ghetto. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's
Yeah.
that's about all you're gonna get, or a condo somewhere. Hovel. Y'all like that?
Well, that one house I showed you, that was 82,000, and that had 2 acres of land.
Yeah.
That's cheaper if you get out in the country usually.
Yeah, I don't want to be in the city at all.
We'll get something over there by the south of the border,
Yeah.
and you can go sourcing at the border.
Yeah. Rita was saying that the list of all the mix up on the sizes and stuff for the specifics. I guess that was a big mix up or a mistake on eBay's part. And I guess the update, Summer said that the update said that they did fix that. So.
Good morning, Texas Val.
Morning.
Jim and Tara back up at the top said I couldn't take Cali real estate prices, too big of a payment. The prices of the real estate, according to my neighbor that's from San Diego, the real estate, yes, is expensive, but it's the taxes that kill you on the real estate.
Sure.
That's what he said. That's the reason they had to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. This. I don't know.
Did-
I mean, I could buy a house here for, you know, probably around a good house. I could probably buy one for 50,000 with no problem. But I'm out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
Freaking BFE.
Bridget, this might be a little something for you to think, a little something for you to think about. Tara says, because I know this is Tara typing, it took me 5 years to wrap everything up when I decided to move.
Yeah, but she has a lot. She has a lot more than I have.
Yeah, but still, you know, you got a son and a daughter up there, and
Yeah.
you got to make sure that they're going to be able to survive without mama nearby. And
My oh, I thought you meant like my inventory. My inventory's all in bins on shelves in the storage unit. It would take nothing to throw those bins real quick to a U-Haul.
you know, Grandma Magic Classic said that she wants a 2-bedroom house with attached garage on 5 to 10 acres, and I don't want to see my neighbors. Back when I was working for the land surveying company, we would have.
Uh-oh. Hello?
Anybody there?
Hello?
I'm here.
What happened?
I don't know. Tom went and
Valerie's gone.
Valerie's gone.
It says we're
About,
it's just all of a sudden everybody's like gone. It's like the zombies came.
that was weird.
It was very weird. Huh.
Huh.
You guys hear us in chat?
Everything froze on Texas Val's end.
I know, I thought it was my internet too. I was about ready to text Valerie and just say, well, I lost you. That's weird.
Thomas froze. Nikki is glitchy. We hear you.
Yeah, that's the only people we can hear too. It was almost like the whole world ended and then all of a sudden we're like, we hear Todd's voice coming from above. Is any
Oh. Can you hear me now? Can you see my hand?
And now we can see you.
Tom is still frozen. Well, at least he doesn't have a terrible look on his face. Okay, well, I don't know what happened to Valerie.
I don't know. Anyway, let's talk about them while they're out.
Okay, can you believe Tom?
I know.
Oh man, I just messaged Valerie, but she hasn't looked at it yet. It's weird that both of them froze. Tom kicked me out for an update. Zoom kicked me out for an update. Oh, okay. Oh, well, Tom, as you can see, your picture's still up there. So how's everybody's sales been? Let's talk about that.
Quiet.
Oh, there's Valerie.
No?
I had to sneak out for a minute. Sorry.
Oh, well, something weird happened and everybody just froze and stopped and
Got quiet. Uh,
Oh, wow.
It'd be like those people make money fast selling on eBay. Woo, no. This could be yours too if you buy my course.
oh my gosh.
That was weird.
Somebody just looked at me weird.
what was weird?
It kicked me out and said Zoom must update this update before you can continue.
Huh.
And I mean, it kicked me all the way out to
That's
desktop.
weird.
Valerie was gone and then you're gone and then everything was just silent. And then all of a sudden, I thought it was my
sister was gone.
I thought it was my internet, and then all of a sudden you hear Todd's voice going, "Anybody there?"
It's like the voice of God.
I actually thought Valerie didn't want to hear my story, so she kicked me out. But
Oh,
you know,
I would never.
You're
I got-
out of here, buddy.
then I got the message saying that it had to do this update. What I was saying was, you know, people would come in and they would want to give give the kids a piece of land, and one of them would say, "Well, you know, Susan wants 2 acres around these cluster of trees right there," and I would have to say no, and they would say, and immediately Susan would just like climb all into my pockets, and the father would say, "Why is that, Tom?" And I would say, "Because you don't know what's going to happen, and you're giving Susan a piece of property right slap middle of your 100 acres.
Right.
Susan's married. What if she and her husband gets divorced? Are either one of them able to buy the other one out? Are you
Right.
able to buy them out?" I said, "Once you've deeded that piece of property away, you have totally lost control of that property."
Yeah, it's torn.
And and the mother would say, "Well, there's more to life than just money." And I've seen many a husband turn around, or a daughter or son would say that. And I've seen many a parent turn and look, or her spouse look at the other one and like, "You have lost your mind." And, you know, and so I'd say, you know, if you're going to give them, it's great, you're going to give them a piece of land, give them a little piece over here in the corner. So if for some reason that, you know, and this is back when the economy was going down the tubes for real estate, I said, "You don't know what's going to happen. They could get transferred." Well, the actual piece of 2 acres in the middle of the property was an actual case, and the guy that cut off the property came by the office and dropped a quart of Jack Daniels off for me and my brother. And I said, "What's this for?" He says, "Because of that advice you gave us." And I said, "What's that?" Because we run through so many people, I don't remember what I tell people. And he said about not giving them a piece of property in the middle of our property.
Right.
And I said, "What happened?" He said, "Well, both of them lost their jobs and they're moving to Greenville."
Oh no.
So he said, you know, and they've got to sell the house because they have a mortgage on it because they built the house. They got to sell that house to buy to get out of the mortgage, and also to be able to get something over in Greenville,
Right.
South Carolina, for those that's living in North Carolina. And he said, you know, even though my daughter didn't like it, she realizes I was right now.
Yeah.
Or she was realized that, you know, that I was right. And I said, well, you know, I've been doing this since I was 20 years old. You know, I've heard my dad listening to people's stories about, why did you just cut it off?
Right.
Why didn't you give me some suggestions? So we got to the point where it's like, nah, we cut it off, you got to know all the facts.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, like they say, you know, there's more to life than money. There's the emotion and making their daughter happy and stuff like that. And I said, you know, or son, that's just not the way you can be, especially when land is being controlled so by planning commissions and whatnot. You know, that 1 2-acre tract in the middle of that 100-acre tract could have meant several $100,000 in losses just because of the where it was situated in the property.
Right.
So anyway, I don't even know what got me on that story, but there's your little bit of your little tidbit on real estate. And when you start
Story
giving
time
off,
with Uncle Tom.
when you start giving off, like, you know, Nikki and Gary, when they start setting up their estate and, you know, giving the girls some property and whatnot. Because, you know, when the Nikki's girls get married and they have kids, she's going to want them nearby, the grandkids nearby, you know.
Well, sure.
So, you know, Brandy will be living on one side of her and Amanda will be living on the other side of her. So the kids can go to grandma's house every day.
Yeah. I only have 25 acres, but I've already told them that if they want, they can come out and have 5 acres each. They want to build out there. Amanda don't want to live in the country.
Yeah, but as you get older, you kind of change your tune a little bit.
Older and you have kids.
Once you get tired of all the, you know, the hoopla of living in the city, your thoughts kind of change.
You know, we've actually talked about, since the boys are almost to the point of being out on their or, you know, self-sufficient, they're almost done with all their schooling and everything, about moving to someplace a little bit quieter, because I've got to the point that I hate this damn traffic around here.
Yeah.
I love being convenient to everything, but I hate the traffic.
Yeah.
And I'm getting to be one of them creepy old men. You know? Matter of fact, I want to make me a bumper sticker that says, I don't have to be anywhere. Because these fools around here, if you don't hit the damn gas when the light turns green, they're like on the horns, you know.
Yeah.
And then
very rarely do we ever have traffic jams here. Maybe a couple times a year if there's an accident on the freeway or something. Otherwise, it's pretty free flowing no matter where you go here. That is one thing I like about here, is that, you know, it's pretty laid back as far as the driving goes. And yeah, I mean, I can leave, I don't have to leave hours and hours ahead of the schedule to make it through traffic.
Joanna, my father founded a land surveying business. I never became a licensed land surveyor because I did not anticipate staying in it as long as I did, because I really didn't like doing that kind of work. But which my younger brother and older brother both are involved in the business. They're both licensed. I've been involved, or, you know, sitting around the kitchen table at night eating dinner with the ups and downs of real estate and all that kind of stuff, like in the 70s when you couldn't give the damn stuff away because the interest rates were like 18%. I remember distinctly this one guy buying a house, and his interest rate on his house was 19% for 30 years.
Wow.
Now, of course, immediately when the interest rates started dropping back down, then he refinanced.
Sure.
But if you wanted to buy a house, you either had to have cash or you just didn't buy a house if you didn't want to pay the high interest rates.
Huh. Joanna says, wow, just funny. My dad was a land agent that drew out the plats or surveys to make sure that they closed, and taught me that stuff. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, it was really interesting. And when you start researching the property, like there was a deed one time, it was like from the late 1800s, where the man died and his wife had already died. He died and he had 2 minor children. He deeded the land to his children, 2 minor children, and deeded the 2 minor children to his brother to raise them, and that he could use the land as he saw fit. But that was like, damn. Let's just deed the kids away. Um, you know, Tessa, we thought about the far side of Monroe, over there where the college is at, the university, over in that, going down towards that direction. Yeah, but Tessa lives out, well, she lives in Monroe. It's growing. It's actually becoming an arm of Charlotte. It's all growing together.
Yeah.
And Junk Girl, she lives out in the sticks. I used to say if Domino's didn't deliver, you were too far out. Because when I was young, I could have lived in New York. I could have lived any place like that. But now I'm old.
Yeah.
And I don't want to move to Florida unless I can move to that subdivision I told you about, Bridget. I don't want to live. I don't want to live in. There's just too many damn people in Florida, and they're old people.
Live in the out. I mean, there's country. You can live out further. You don't have to live like on top of Orlando.
No.
Oh, I know that, but you know, it costs you several million to live it close to the beach unless you lived in some place not desirable.
Well, you have that. Why does it
Greenville Treasures, that was a lot. That was in the 1800s. Okay. DSS would kind of frown on that these days.
Yeah.
Junk Girl says my neighbors are cows.
That's good. Cows are good. Kind of
You know,
but
some friends of our family, they have a big cattle farm down in Chester County, and it's close to I-77, which runs between Columbia, South Carolina, and Charlotte. And so there's a lot. They've had like 3,000 acres down there with all these cows and horses and crap for like 100 years. And this development company came in there and they built some swanky estate homes out there, you know, like 3 acres so they could have well and septic tank, and 6,000 square foot homes and that kind of thing. And the first summer people were living out there, they started complaining to the planning commission about the smell of the cows. And the planning commission was actually going to try to rezone it so they couldn't have cows out there.
wow.
And the father of the family, patriarch, he told at a county planning commission one night, he said, let me tell you what, you guys will never live long enough to see the lawsuit that's going to happen if you try to do that. He says, my GD cows have been there longer than any of you people have been in Chester County. And he said, because I will have a suit against you people so fast it'll make your head spin. And I will see to it, if it costs every penny that my family has, that this thing stays in court for the next 100 years.
Oh my gosh.
They did that on the north side. Tessa and Junk Girl, they probably remember it. We had a drag strip on the north side of Charlotte, up near Mooresville, and they made them shut it down because they started building subdivisions up beside it, and it made too much noise.
Huh.
And that drag strip had been there for years.
So I have skunks for neighbors. Everybody else has cows and horses.
Yeah, we got those too. About
That's right.
actually, Gwen looked out the window at the carport where she feeds those cats, and there was a big old possum eating out of the cat bowl.
Oh my gosh.
We have one of those. His name's Opie.
Yeah, they're so cute.
At least possums don't stink like skunks.
I can't do possums. Ugh.
Todd's going to be telling his grandkids back in 2019, that's the year we call the year of the skunk. Your grandma was sent home from work because she smelled you.
Poor Gwen. I still feel sorry for her.
See, everything is funny. Everything about that whole situation is funny because I wasn't living there. But the part that wasn't funny was just how embarrassed she was when her boss said, "You're going to have to go home."
Yeah. That's just sad.
It is.
Todd, could she take sick leave, or did she have to use vacation time, or how did she do that?
Yeah, I think they docked her one of her. She gets like 5 or 6 days every school year to be sick, and they docked her a day on that.
Wow.
Well, that's better than using vacation days if they get vacation days.
You know what? Todd really should have, because she was so embarrassed and she was feeling down, he should have taken her on a vacation somewhere.
He should have.
I agree.
I did. I took her to the Northeast this summer.
No. While she was out of work.
Yeah.
While she was out of work. We were too busy scrubbing dogs and carpet and furniture and drapes and yeah, that was not a vacation just because she was off work because of
No.
that.
She came home to work.
You know, my brother that's got all, well, his wife, he'll tell you, his wife has all the dogs. His wife and daughter has all the dogs and the horses. They've had several skunks living around their place for years, and they've never sprayed anybody.
Wow.
Or the animals or anything. I guess all the animals are used to dog because they do a lot of adoptions and placements and fostering. So I guess all the dogs are used to animals coming and going, so they don't even pay any attention to the skunks.
Wow.
But I told Terry that would be a good video for YouTube if he could get them when the skunks are out there. You know, they're feeding up everybody, and the skunks are out there with the dogs.
Yeah.
Todd's dog was
Well,
the first time.
Gage's dog that we inherited is the aggressive. The other 2 dogs wouldn't mess with a skunk, but that thing, it'll jump right in the middle of any furry thing that's smaller than it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's what happened there.
Mary wants to live close enough to town to get groceries and go to the post office, but far enough away so she don't have to see people.
That's where I am, Mary.
And you worry about places to source.
Y'all are so antisocial.
You know, that's the thing is that's the main thing with us is being able to, you know, find places to get.
Well, neighbors are trouble, you know. There's so many times. I mean, these days when everybody's so hurt about everything affects them. They're triggered by everything, you know. Yeah. Staying away from people is probably your best bet.
I'm lucky because I have, great neighbors.
Yeah.
But
I like my neighbors. I don't know if they like me, but I like my neighbors just fine.
We had a housewarming party at my house when I first moved there, of course. And I lived there probably about 6-8 months. Anyways, we're not partiers, but we had a big shindig. And but it was all, my husband's buddies from work and some family members or whatever. And it was, somebody had the radio going a little bit, but not very loud. But we live out in the country. I have 25 acres. Anyways, all of a sudden we're sitting there and the cops show up and they said, yeah, somebody told us that there was a big wild party over here and that people were racing up and down the road with the 4-wheelers and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, we're not like that, And he's like, so is this about how many people have been here all day? And I said, yeah. I said, besides my dad and my sister, they left a little bit ago. Otherwise, everybody else is still here. He goes, huh, doesn't look like 200 people. I said, no. And he says, this how loud the radio's been all day? I said, yep. And he goes, huh. Doesn't seem very loud to me. He goes, well, you guys have a good day. He says, by the way, if I have any, or a little tip for you, he said, next time invite your neighbors to your party.
Yeah.
Sounds like they're a little hurt that they weren't invited. I said, well, they're more than welcome to come. And there's always plenty of food at my house. They're always welcome. Anybody is. I just didn't know them. They never attempted to see me, But now that I know them, they're very nice people.
Right.
But I had been talking to somebody that had lived in the area for years, and I guess a few years before we lived there, there was somebody who owned the place that rented it out, and there were people that went out in the field and tore the field, and that's why the field is so rough. They went out there with cars in the middle of the night and would, tear up the field, and they threw big wild parties all the time. They grew pot behind the garage, and I was like, I'm gonna go back behind the garage now. Anyways, it was back there, But anyways, yeah. So I guess they were kind of flexing their nuts a little bit. I think just
Yeah.
making sure that we knew that they're aware,
I don't know them, but there's some people that live down about 6 or 8 houses down the street from us, and they went around and left notes in everybody's mailboxes that on a certain Saturday night they were having a 16th birthday party for their daughter. What do they call them? Quesadillas or something?
Quinceañera.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Thank you.
Even I know that's not what it's called.
And
Night Molly's with the
there would be a lot of extra cars parked on the side of the road and stuff like that. And we thought that was, and that everybody was welcome if they would like to stop in.
Mhm.
But I thought it was really nice that they sent out they were passing out notes, letting people know that there was and that it would be wrapped up by 11 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's pretty cool that they did that. I mean,
Yeah.
they always say if you want the best party is when you invite your neighbors.
Yeah.
Or you give them the option to come, and then if they decide not to come.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't go to a quinceañera without a gift, or you're kind of like, what?
Well,
No gift?
that's true.
Huh?
What's it called?
Quinceañera.
Quinceañera.
Okay. Well, I was close.
15 in Spanish is quince.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a quinceañera is.
It's kind of like a sweet 16, but it's for 15-year-olds.
Well, okay. Well, that's the reason I said 16. I thought it was a sweet 16 party.
And supposedly back in the day, that meant you were old enough to start dating and get married and stuff.
Yeah.
Back when I was living in York County a long time before Roberta, there was a single guy that lived in the house beside my house, and then there was like older people on either side of us. So if somebody was going to have a party, we always made sure that the older people on either side of us knew about it.
Right.
And you're welcome to come over if you'd want to. Well, every time they would come over, like the ones that was right beside me, they would come over, and the lady, she would make hors d'oeuvres. She'd come with a tray of hors d'oeuvres, and he would come with a 12-pack of beer and maybe a bottle of liquor and stuff like that. And she would hang around and talk to the girls that was there for a little while, maybe 35, about 45 minutes. And then she would say she was going to leave it to the young people, and she'd go back to the house. Well, the guy, he'd smoke a cigar with us and drink. I said liquor. He'd bring something like brandy or something that you drink along with smoking cigars. And he usually brought a bunch of good, nice cigars because his wife wouldn't let him smoke in the yard. In his yard, he's not allowed to smoke cigars in it. But he'd buy. She didn't care if he bought them and smoked them someplace else. So he would come over and he would hang out. He'd smoke a cigar and have a drink with us, and then he'd go away. I mean, he would go home, and the next day I'd go out to Sunday morning, I'd go out to the mailbox to get my newspaper, and I don't know whether she waited till I went outside or what, but she'd come out and she'd say, well, y'all were done by about 11 o'clock. And I said, well, we're not like 17 years old anymore, because I was in my late 30s, early 40s then.
Oh,
I
God.
said, and if you've been drinking, I said, you don't want to be out too late because that's just setting yourself up for failure, And but she said, y'all got quiet real soon. I said, well, I didn't want you calling the law on me. But they had a 65th birthday for a friend of theirs, and I swear that thing must have went on to like 2 a.m. because they had a swimming pool and it was during the spring, so the weather was real nice. They were outside, laughing and having a good time out there. And I'd get up and I'd turn on lights in the house and go through. And I bet the second time I went into the other part of the house with light, was turning lights on. My phone rang and it was the guy next door. He says, "Are we keeping you up?" I said, "No, I'm fine." He said, "Well, why don't you get dressed and come on over?" It's 2 a.m. I've been in bed for an hour and a half. But you got to have good neighbors, and you got to. And usually, if you got bad neighbors, it's because you've not worked. I mean, I know there's cases where there's just buttholes out there, but
Yeah.
Well, that was when the cop left. He said, sorry, you got bad neighbors.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Wish I would have known that before I moved here. No. But they've been actually not too bad. Their dog attacked my duck one time. My duck ended up in the river for some reason. I don't know why. But he ended up going into the river, and the dog it's a hunting dog. So he ended up went and retrieved the duck and brought it. And she's like, oh my God. And she brought it back. She said, I'm so sorry. He didn't kill the duck, just had a couple bite marks on him. But that was how I actually met her.
Oh, no.
And so I guess the ball was in my court then. But she had to be nice to me. But ever since then, they've been real nice people, not like coming over, visiting or whatever, but just, we wave at each other. And if we're out on the road at the same time, we chit chat, a little bit, but
Sometimes that's what you got to do.
which is weird to me because I'm usually close to my I'm usually, pretty friendly with my neighbors because it's just me,
Yeah.
it's good to have relationships with your neighbors because
Sure.
My next door neighbors, who are a young couple, they went off to work, and I happened to go outside and I noticed their kitchen door. Well, it goes into a mud room, and then that leads into the kitchen. But that door was open, standing open. So I texted both of them and said, "Hey, your kitchen door's open. Are y'all at home? When are y'all at home?" And they texted me back saying, "No, would you mind go shutting it?" That their little girl, who is 5, must have opened the door. So I went over and shut the door for them. And, you kind of look out for your neighbors if you got a good relationship.
Sure.
When we went on the cruise, I told Herman next door, I said, I doubt it will happen, but if a party happens to go on in my house over here, I said, feel free to go. You got a key, go over there and see what the hell's going on, if it gets out of control. And he laughed and he said, I wouldn't do that. Boys will be boys. He said, I'll just go over there tomorrow morning and say, you better have this house cleaned up before your mom and daddy gets back.
Yeah.
And they go on trips, and I get their mail and they get our mail.
Yeah.
And, you
That's
just
the
gotta
way
have
my
good
dad is with his neighbors, like if he's going out of town, he'll be, hey, I'm going out of town, just so you know. And the neighbor's been there for years. He knows all of us, so he knows all the vehicles and stuff, so they know if something's amiss. As a matter of fact, when my dad did get broken into one time, they were the ones who called the cops because they didn't recognize who was around the house. And my dad has cameras at his house, so
Right.
they were able to catch him. But
you know, my mom and dad live in a neighborhood that they're surrounded by old people. And my mom just turned 83. They're all old people. And the lady across the street is in everybody's business. That's Mrs. Kravitz, if y'all know who Mrs. Kravitz is.
Yep.
Yeah. And mom and dad were going out of town, and my mom was expecting a box from somebody. And so I said, it was supposed to be there on Wednesday. So I said, I'll go down Wednesday afternoon and put it in the house because my brothers were going to be out of town all day. So I rode down there and it was there and I put it inside the house. And my mom said, just hang around for a little while. Just so people will know that somebody's coming and going.
Sure.
So I turned on the TV and had a glass of tea, and my mom called me in about 5 minutes. The lady across the street, Mrs. Kravitz, she called my mom saying, "Hey, there's a strange car in your driveway with North Carolina tax." And my mom said, "Well, that's Tom. He's supposed to check on the place for me." She said, "Okay." Now, it's a good ways from Mrs. Kravitz's house to my mom and dad's house.
Yeah.
What are you getting served?
I need to find out. Get my phone for me. I don't know how the hell she knew it was North Carolina tags.
Whenever you
Okay.
choose to get them.
Maybe she went out and looked. I don't know.
Yeah.
She might have. You
We
just
have
never know with people.
She's probably got all your police record and your
Yeah.
medical records
Yeah.
and your.
She writes it down every time you come to the house. She got a little log book.
She's got a dossier on you, Tom.
And my mom's the same way. She, they're old people. Even young people should be this way. You should be aware of what's going on in your neighborhood.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like about 4 years ago down in Lancaster, South Carolina, which is like straight down 521 from us. Tessa probably remembers hearing about it. They broke into a house. I mean, the sheriff's department and the drug people from the state broke into a house, and the people had been running marijuana labs, a farm inside the house. And they had all the windows blacked out on the inside and all of that kind of mess, with black plastic. And they were interviewing the neighbor. The media was interviewing the neighbors, and they said, we just really didn't realize anything was going on. It is a young guy living there, and there was people coming and going at all hours of night, but we just figured that was how young people did things now. And they said, well, did you not ever see any lights on in the house? She said, no. She said, we just thought they were concerned about keeping their power bill low. It's because they had everything blacked out and you couldn't see inside the house, or because they had them blue glow lights going all the time.
That's right, Texas Val. Aware. It's better than nosy.
Yeah.
It just sounds better. It's the same difference, but it sounds a little bit better.
Well, you know what I'm not talking about being in everybody's business, I'm just talking about, knowing what's going on.
Sure.
And it doesn't hurt. I mean, because we've had people here in Charlotte that come home from vacation and somebody's backed up to the front of the house and loaded everything out. They have a moving truck.
Yeah.
They load up everything in the house and haul it off. And the neighbors think, well, they're moving, or they had no relationship. They didn't know, they interviewed this one guy and he says, well, I really don't know him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One lady did know him, thought that they were getting new furniture.
Oh.
Huh.
Yeah. When I'm gone, I'll usually tell my neighbor next to me, and then I'll tell the neighbor across the street. And then by that time, because they go and make rounds in the town, like they go to the bank, the post office, and I'm sure that's probably the talk of the town that the California girl is off again to wherever she goes, and so everybody knows basically, and that could be a good thing or it can be a bad thing,
Yeah.
but that it is what it is. If I'm in California, ain't not much I can do.
A friend of mine moved to a small town in Georgia that he was taking over the accounting department of a family-owned textile mill down there, one of the few in the state. And he had teenage children, and one of his sons said he was talking to some of the boys at school, and they said, "Now let me tell you what, this is not Charlotte. If you do something, everybody in town will know it in no time."
Tom's getting a call.
Yep.
Answer the phone.
No longer Sally, you're getting a phone call. Now it's Tom.
I picked up some Christmas presents this morning at Quick Trip.
For me?
Christmas present.
No, I got Vikings,
Ooh.
Packers,
Yeah.
and Wisconsin Badgers.
There you go.
Woohoo! The Badgers, go Badgers!
I got 4 people covered.
I'll see you guys later. I've got
All right,
to take
Tom.
somebody to work.
Okay. Have a great day.
All right. I don't know whether I'll be back on this week or not. It's just been kind of a week.
Okay. Well, we'll see you when we see you.
All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Yeah. How's
Bye.
Todd feeling today? How are you feeling today, Todd? Are you doing any better?
Oh yeah. Just got a few little gurgles left in my gut, and that's about it.
Good.
My head feels good. My gut feels better, and
Good.
my
I
butt's
was gonna
still
ask
kind of
earlier,
raw
but-
from all the wiping, but yeah.
That happens.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're doing better.
I
Yeah.
used a whole package of toilet paper,
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for
Oh.
but I'm better.
Hopefully it was the 4 rolls, not 12.
Probably closer to the 12.
Probably that big 36 pack you get
Oh
at
my
Sam's
gosh.
Club.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad you're feeling better too.
If you use Scott tissue, you don't have that problem. It lasts a long time.
So what's
I like
everybody
Scott
doing
tissue.
today?
I like Scott tissue because it has some grit.
Yeah, I don't grit.
No, me either.
I like rough toilet paper.
Okay.
He likes
So
it.
what's everybody doing today?
I have to mow today and tomorrow.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. The school board called and said, yeah, we ended the mowing too soon.
Oh, wow.
So there's some schools that need to be mowed.
Yeah.
Actually, all the schools need to be mowed, but they want the 4. I think I have to do, I think we have to do 4 or 5 of them. Well, we can't mow till after 3, so
Yeah.
it'll take us a couple days to do it.
Yeah.
Gary said he could do it too. And so I might make him do it because it's kind of cold out. So we'll see. I don't know. Depends how my hands are feeling.
Texas foul. Scott is the stuff your finger goes through. That's true. Mary says when our house was robbed, they didn't ask any questions and told us it was probably someone we knew. No, we just moved here and no family or friends close.
Mm.
And we wouldn't associate with people that steal from us. They did nothing. Yeah. I don't know. That's the good thing about living in town, in a small town, because, you can, people recognize cars, if somebody if a car, a weird car pulled up, in my driveway or something, and, people would recognize that right off the bat.
Yeah,
So,
they'd definitely be paying attention.
yeah.
Yeah.
When
So,
when Chris's daughter had a boyfriend,
mhm.
he pulled in one time to give me some bubble wrap because he works for a moving company.
Mhm.
My neighbor was right at my door 2 seconds after he pulled in.
Oh my gosh.
Right in and sat on the couch and said, "So who are you?"
Oh my gosh.
She was protecting Chris's interest.
Yes, I don't know. I said, "Chris, you won't ever have to worry about anybody coming over. That's for sure."
Yeah.
Wow. Well, at least you have that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it's good to make friends with, people in your neighborhood, because they look out for you and
Yeah.
everything.
Normally.
But I've kind of tried to put some decoys out to make it look like, maybe a man lives here.
Mhm.
But
Well, yeah, boots, right?
what?
Didn't you put boots on the porch?
Yeah, there's a pair of boots on the porch, so I don't know.
To do that, you have to.
And I've never, knock on wood, I've never had any problems, but people keep a pretty good eye out.
Mhm.
So thank goodness for that.
Yep.
But me, I'm gonna be listing today. I got lots of work to do. Lots of work to get done. I think I have five or six packages going out. So I'll get those all packaged up and take them to the post office. But
I have less than 10,000 items to list, so I'll be done.
Better then.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
You gonna
better.
get them all done today?
No,
positive.
I can safely say I am not going to list everything I need to list today.
Just do the best you
But
can.
I do plan on listing some.
Yeah. Yeah,
My
me
plan
too.
is to make a couple videos today, but we'll see.
Ooh, good.
That'll be good. Bridget has a new one out.
Yeah, I'm not talking in it.
That's not bad. Just kidding.
Oh my gosh. Called cops 2 times and they're in a half an hour and they didn't even show up. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be scary.
Mhm.
Oh. All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up for today.
All right.
I hope everybody has a great day. And thanks everybody for coming on panel. And see you all later.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Mañana.